Most people assume that colon damage is the obvious result of a steady diet of junk food, greasy fries, sugary sodas, and processed snacks. That assumption is dangerously incomplete, and it's why so many health conscious individuals are caught off guard. The truth is, some of the most harmful, silently corrosive foods for your colon are sold to you in packages labeled as healthy, light, low fat, doctor recommended, or all natural. They are integrated into your daily routine with the best of intentions. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on that illusion. I will show you 7 specific foods that, under the guise of wellness, can quietly inflame your intestinal lining, slow down its essential rhythmic motion, and contribute to a state of chronic clogging and dysfunction. Stay with me until the very end, because beyond the warnings, I will give you a simple, restorative recipe designed to help soothe and undo some of this everyday damage. First, you must understand why this damage is so insidious and easy to miss. Your colon is not an organ of dramatic protest. It communicates in subtle whispers long before it screams. The early warning signs are easy to dismiss or attribute to something else. That persistent low-level bloating you feel by evening, the gas that seems unrelated to a specific meal, the sensation that a bowel movement was incomplete, a vague feeling of pressure or fullness in your lower abdomen, or simply stools that are erratic in form and timing. You might normalize these as just getting older or a sensitive stomach. By the time unmistakable pain, significant bleeding, or a major change in function appears, the inflammatory or dysfunctional process has often been underway for months or years. The goal is to listen to the whispers, not wait for the scream. Before we reveal the first harmful food, I need your support. 99% of you watching aren't subscribed. If you want to protect your health, help us reach 100,000 subscribers this month. Your subscription and like make a huge difference. Thank you. Now, to the list. Number 7, protein bars and healthy snack bars. They promise fuel, fitness, and fiber. But look beyond the marketing at the ingredient list of most mainstream options. You'll often find sugar alcohols like sorbitol, mannitol, xylitol, highly processed isolated fibers, inulin, chicory root fiber, and emulsifiers, soy lecithin, gums. In your colon, this trio creates a perfect storm. Sugar alcohols are poorly absorbed and undergo rapid fermentation by gut bacteria, causing significant gas, bloating, and distension. Isolated fibers can be overly fermentable for some people, feeding gas-producing bacteria. Emulsifiers, while considered safe, have been shown in studies to potentially disrupt the protective mucus layer of the gut and increase bacterial adhesion to the lining. Your colon evolved to handle whole food fiber, not these highly processed, concentrated isolates that can lead to inflammation and erratic motility. Number 6, low-fat or fat-free flavored yogurts and dairy drinks. The low-fat health mantra turned these into diet staples. To compensate for the removed fat, which carries flavor and texture, manufacturers add significant amounts of sugar, artificial sweeteners, and stabilizers like carrageenan or modified food starch. This high sugar load can feed pathogenic bacteria and yeast in the gut. More critically, additives like carrageenan are a known instigator of gut inflammation in animal and some human cell studies, potentially irritating the colon lining and contributing to a breakdown in barrier function. The result is not better health, but a colon environment that is more prone to mucus overproduction, creating sticky stool, inflammation, and sluggish, uncomfortable movement. Now, we reset our attention to a category of foods people defend with almost religious fervor, believing them to be unquestionably virtuous. Number 5, large amounts of raw leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula. This is about context and quantity. A small side salad is not the issue. The problem arises with the modern trend of massive daily raw green smoothies or giant bowls of roughage. For many individuals, especially after 50 when digestive enzyme output and stomach acid can decline, these tough, fibrous leaves are difficult to break down completely. The incomplete digestion means larger, rougher particles reach the colon. There, they can be slow to move through, potentially causing minor abrasions to the sensitive lining, and for some, they can contribute to the formation of insoluble complexes that make stool bulky, yet difficult to pass. For a colon that is already slow, common with age, a huge volume of raw greens can be more of a burden than a help, slowing transit rather than speeding it. Cooking greens gently breaks down the cellulose, making the fiber more accessible and less irritating. Number 4. Commercial nut milks and plant-based creamers. Chosen for lactose intolerance or a plant-based diet, these seem like gut-friendly alternatives. However, to achieve a smooth, shelf-stable, non-separating product, most brands rely on an arsenal of additives. Thickeners like Gelen gum or locust bean gum, emulsifiers like sunflower lecithin, and stabilizers. Substances like carrageenan, still found in some, and certain gums have been linked in research to gut inflammation, disruption of the microbiome, and increased intestinal permeability, leaky gut in susceptible individuals. You are drinking a suspension of water, nuts, and industrial food additives that your colon's immune system may recognize as irritants, leading to low-grade chronic inflammation that undermines its health. Now, we move into the territory of foods that are shocking because they are so deeply associated with fitness and weight management. Number 3, excessive protein shakes and powders, especially whey isolate. The body can only absorb and utilize a certain amount of protein per meal. When you consume a large dose from a processed shake, particularly those with artificial sweeteners and additives, a significant portion of that protein may not be fully digested in the small intestine. This undigested protein then travels to the colon. In the colon, protein is not a preferred food for our beneficial bacteria. Instead, it can putrefy, feeding less desirable bacteria that produce toxic, inflammatory byproducts like ammonia, sulfides, and various nitrogenous compounds. This leads to foul-smelling gas, can increase systemic inflammation, and creates an unhealthy, inflamed colonic environment. Your colon thrives on balanced whole food nutrition, not periodic floods of isolated, difficult-to-process compounds. Number 2. Artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. The zero-calorie promise is a trap for the gut. These chemicals are not inert. A growing body of research indicates they can have a deleterious effect on the gut microbiome. They may selectively harm beneficial bacteria like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, while having less effect on or even promoting more inflammatory strains. This dysbiosis directly leads to increased gut inflammation, altered immune function in the colon, and can contribute to glucose intolerance. Furthermore, for many people, they disrupt the gut-brain signaling that regulates motility, leading to either constipation or diarrhea. Your colon's ecosystem is biochemical, and these synthetic compounds are disruptive foreign agents. Now, for the number one offender, the one that is most pervasive because it's recommended in almost every dietary guideline. Number 1, daily consumption of processed whole grain products. This includes whole wheat bread, crackers, breakfast cereals, and granola bars eaten every single day. The issue is not the whole grain itself in moderation. The issue is the daily, repetitive, processed form. Modern wheat, even whole wheat, contains compounds like amylase trypsin inhibitors and certain lectins that can be mildly inflammatory and irritating to the gut lining in sensitive individuals. The grinding process creates abrasive fiber particles. When consumed daily, this can lead to a state of constant low-level microinflammation in the colon. Furthermore, for some, the gluten and other proteins can be difficult to break down, leading to a sticky glue-like residue in the gut that slows transit and leads to that feeling of incomplete evacuation. A healthy food, through sheer frequency and processing, becomes a source of chronic irritation. Why this all matters intensely. After 50, your digestive system undergoes natural changes. Colon motility, the migrating motor complex, slows down. Production of digestive enzymes and stomach acid decreases, making breakdown less efficient. The gut lining can become more sensitive and permeable. What your robust system processed without issue at age 30 can become a significant source of irritation, inflammation, and stagnation at 60. It's not that your body is failing, it's that it requires more mindful, less abrasive fuel. The practical fix, the colon calm and clean repair drink. Knowing what to avoid is half the battle. The other half is actively supporting repair. This drink is not a laxative. It is a soothing, anti-inflammatory tonic that helps calm the colon lining and support its natural rhythm. Recipe: colon repair night drink. Ingredients: 1 cup of warm, cooked white rice water, the starchy water left over after boiling plain white rice. 1/2 teaspoon of ground fennel seed. A tiny pinch of ginger powder, about 1/8 teaspoon. How to use: combine the ingredients, drink it warm, 30 to 60 minutes before bed, 3 to 4 nights a week. It is gentle and safe for consistent use. Why? This works. Rice water contains starches that have a demulcent property. They coat and soothe the irritated colon lining, providing a protective film. It's a time-honored remedy for gut inflammation. Fennel seed, a carminative that helps relax intestinal spasms, reduce painful gas buildup, and ease pressure. Ginger powder. In this tiny dose, it provides gentle prokinetic support, encouraging the natural rhythmic motion of the colon without being stimulatory. This protocol is about creating an environment for healing and restoring normal function, not about forcing an evacuation. Important warning: do not combine this drink with stimulant laxatives expecting a stronger effect. Do not drink it ice cold, as cold can shock the digestive tract. This is a repair strategy, not a punishment or a quick flush. Be patient and consistent. If you want to protect the long-term health of your colon to prevent problems before they become serious, then this channel is for you. Please subscribe and hit the like button. It helps this vital information reach more people who need it. In the comments below, tell me, which of these 7 foods surprised you the most? Was it the protein bars, the artificial sweeteners, or the daily whole grains? Your insight helps build our community's awareness, because colon damage rarely begins with dramatic pain. It begins quietly, insidiously, with the everyday foods you were confidently told were good for you. True health lies in discernment, not just dogma.